It was the early hours of Sunday morning. As I sat in my room in Liverpool, watching the TV, the Princess of Wales Diamond was in an accident. I thought then that would jeopardise the handing over on that day, Sunday, wouldn't take place. But that wasn't the case. The handing over of the head by the Liverpool Council people did take place. As it got later on in the morning, getting close to breakfast time,
Madeline Heyman-Reba has the story.
I started to get anxious again. And then we all went down and had breakfast,
How old people lived on that island.
packed our bags and paid our bills, because this was the day of
It's known for its majestic coastline, crystal clear
getting
waters, and
the head of our warrior Yagan
but there's a lot more
into
to
our
Bass
position.
Island than that. Not only is it a culturally
And starting our
significant
journey
place for
home.
people, but the jail where many of them were imprisoned has
It was
seen more
exciting.
in custody than anywhere else in
It was
Australia.
cold.
Meet Ezra Jacobs, a Whadjuk man
All our
single-handedly trying to educate
bags
tourists on the dark and cultural history of
were
the
packed.
island. But before he can show us around, we have to
Two
introduce
motors,
ourselves to
one
the
a
land.
taxi and one a private car.
And then what you do is you take some
Paid our
sweat from
bills.
behind your ear or wherever you want under your armpit.
There was
and rub it
anxiousness
into the
as we
sand.
waited.
And then while you're doing that, normally you can do what you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Richie
but
Wilkes
traditionally
was
you
the
would speak
last
your
to
language to, the spirits, and you would introduce yourself. to
complete
them,
all
where
his
you're from.
bringing in his bags down.
Ezra and his family are traditional
Then the short
owners of
journey
Black
down
Family
through the
Island.
Liverpool
Although many tried to stay away
English
from the
streets
area due to its horrific history,
to
Ezra
where
says it's
the handing
important to him
over
to educate people
of
on
the head
island
would
here,
take place.
but also the ties it has with his
It was
people.
cold. We passed along the streets.
Another two islands that are
Same
close
as
to
usual.
WA, Karnak and Garden
I'm
Island.
scanning the
And they sort of formed a
building
land bridge that
tops
stretched all the way out
or
to
the
Rottnest.
oldness of the buildings, and
back at that time,
yes, there
people
was a
would walk
few.
all the way out to Rottnest Island, and it was known as
There was
an
a
important
few.
meeting place, and they would have been conducting ceremonies out here. There's a men's and women's site on the island that date back to that time as well. So
Before I continue on with that,
in that
there's a
respect.
section that I left out.
It wasn't
And I
long
must
after
tell you
European
about
settlers
it.
arrived that Noongar men from all over Western Australia began to
I think it
mistake
was
the country
on
for
Saturday
variety
night
of petty
early,
and serious crimes.
before the Sunday
They
that
were
would
forced to
follow,
row themselves over
that
to
we walked
Rottnest
down the
Island
streets,
and build a prison where many of them would end their days.
just for the sake of walking and having a look
This
at
cell is where
some
they
of the
would first
Liverpool
enter
streets.
before
I walked along the streets with Mingley. There was these Liverpool people standing outside the pubs. I thought, this is strange. We don't see it back home. In their groups, men and women, or they huge glasses or jugs, whatever you like to call them, in their hands, all drinking them outside these little pubs. And the noise inside was loud, laughing. And I looked across the road as I was walking along, and then we had that scenery behind us, and then we came to this sort of a offshoot street. It was shops. Then I could hear this voice singing. It was a young Liverpool man, I'd say in his mid-20s. He had the guitar and he was singing the song. my brown-eyed girl or brown-eyed baby. He had his guitar case down at his feet, and I looked down as I walked past and there was nothing in it. I walked a little way and the song started to float from where he was singing down the streets, and I was caught in the passageway of that tune. And I turned and walked back. And as I got closer, he started to sing louder and louder. And I stood right before him, and boy, did he really melt into his tunes, and the sound of that tune automatically switched my memories back down over the sea and across through into the Swan Valley and back home. And the visions of Yagan and his people were there before me. And then I was back in front of this man in my mind, and he sang and he sang. I reached down into my pockets and my hand clasped upon a £20 note, and I bought it out with some English silver.
Come on.
And I bent down steady.
Come here.
And opened my hand and let the £20 and the silver fall down into the guitar case box. And as I straightened up, the voice got louder and the tune he sang from the bottom of his heart to a black man putting money down in his case. I shall never, ever forget that man's face. My back turned and I walked away. And Mingley and I continued walking down the streets, and as we went, the tune and the voice of this man followed us down the street, floating down the hill. We went so far down, looking at the buildings and shops, and then we turned and came back, walking up the same street. The song and the sound of the guitar, and the man was gone. To where, I don't know. To where, I don't know. Back to the entering on the Sunday morning to pick up the head. We all went into the building. The box was brought down, put on the table. We asked the white people to please leave the room and shut the door. We opened up the box, and there was the head of our warrior, Yagan, the skull.
Down at the gate, one of the gate, but the gate was that way.
I automatically reached down to my pocket
Where elders camped, and he was going again.
and brought out some of the dust of the ancient sacred site. So many, so close to where his headless body lays up at Upper Swan. And I put some dust over his skull. And for the first time, us four touched
Do this video again.
this man on the head,
All these flags represent
on the skull. Our hands met.
People in the city through land rights. And mainly
There
my
was
mom
sadness,
and my father
there was happiness,
fought for land rights right until the end.
there was thoughts of there and
To have
now,
the 50-year
back down the
anniversary
past.
of Aboriginal land
There
rights,
was visions
it should have been done forever.
of seeing this man
So this is a remembrance
standing
of all
tall,
the ones
speaking in his
that
own way,
are forgotten.
laughing,
Everybody
before
else
he
is
was
worried
killed.
about themselves, and they're not worried about the people that fought in the battle line
The white people came back into
for
the room and
justice
they
for Aboriginal
had to
land
move
rights.
from there to the first floor
This is my
to the
respect.
ceremony where it would
My
take place
respect
and
for the
handing
grassroots
over.
fighters
I
in the city
informed
who stood up all
Richard
the way
Wilkes,
until the end for
Ken
the
Colbung and
issues
Mingley
of land rights and whatever.
to take the head
So
up with
50
them
years, this
that I was not
little thing, I pay my
going to
respect
be part of
to
the
all the
ceremony.
grassroots fighters.
Reasons are my own
50
spiritual
years,
way
always
not to
was
be up
and always
there.
will be Aboriginal land.
As they left the room, I
And that
walked
question,
outside and
Aboriginal
around the
land
building.
rights, always was and
I
always
was
will
drawn right
be, is a
around
question.
to where the
When are we
huge
going to
statue
get our
stood.
land back? When are we going to get our own
It was
land?
statues of a man
People
heavily
got to
armed,
understand in countries and communities
and all
that
around
this
at his
was the
feet
long,
were
this
the
community
statues of these men
fought for land rights and right
with
until the end.
chains
And
around
look
their
what happened.
necks and around
50
their
years.
ankles.
50 years and
I
everybody
stood in
paying
silence
respect
and
to
studied these statues.
always was and always will be
And
Aboriginal.
as I walked further away from it, I
It's
looked
not
back
your
on top of the
land.
building
Until
where the
we
head was
get
to be
something
handed
back,
over.
then
I
we
seen
can
the statues
be
of
part
these people on
of
the building
community.
standing,
White people going into your community,
all sad
giving you an
and looking
Australian
at
flag, giving you
it
a
with a distant look on
GI
their
flag, giving
faces,
you a corporation
looking at
flag
what I
to
don't
march
know.
and say
But I
everything's
thought
okay.
then,
It's not.
at the soles of their feet,
We know some of
underneath
you
on
mob
that first
are living
story,
in luxury. We know
was the
some of your
handing
mob
over of
have
Yagan,
got
our
things.
warrior,
But what about the
Skull,
ones that fought all the way until
to
the
the three
end? We
people,
got nothing. At my
Aboriginal
gate
people.
nearly every single week,
When all that
waiting,
was completed, there was a
waiting for
wild,
someone to
mad
come and
rush
sit
from
there by
there
that
to the
fireplace.
airport with a 45 minutes flight from there, Liverpool to the London airport. There was a wait over there. And then onto the plane, back to Hong Kong. There was so many hours wait, and then our flight from there back home to the Swan Coastal Plains, the Swan Valley. As we left Changi Airport, Hong Kong Airport, the plane was in full flight. I was dozing off, and then I woke up again, and then the air hostess came to me and said, "The captain would like to know if you, Mr. Bropo, would like to come and sit up in the cockpit of the jet." So I took up the offer and I walked with the air hostess right along up to where the cockpit was. On my left-hand side, it was the captain. On the right-hand side was his co-pilot, and in the centre there was a seat, and I was to sit there. And I talked with both the captain and the co-pilot. I was amazed to see them sitting there with no handle driving the aeroplane, just looking at computers with little square lights. And I said to the captain, "Do you mean to tell me that you sit here and there's no handle?" And he said, "Yes." He laughed a bit. This white man and his technology, white man and his aeroplanes. He said, "All we got to do is press buttons." And then he said to me quickly, "Can you stand up and come over here?" And when I did, he said, "Look down there." He said, "We're passing over Bali." The lights were small, a long, long way down. When we touched down at Perth Airport, The blackfellas, brothers and sisters were waiting, children, 11 o'clock or so at night. It was amazing to see so many people standing there at that late hour of the night. There were camera flashes and there was shaking hands and there was hugging. Our warrior Yagan came home, was brought home. My duties as Robert Brofa, being in this deputation, ended there and then. I fulfilled my commitments that I agreed to undertake and go with Richard Wilkes, Ken Colbung and Mingley to assist in bringing Yagan's head home. If people should wish to or want to congratulate me or criticise me, I accept it. I'm a roots man and I'll never change. Me and my community are saviours and savers of sacred sites, and we cannot change. We will always be there to try and save our religion and culture. And Yagan, our warrior, was part of that. In his day and age and time, when he moved to and from, in and along the Swan River and the Swan Valley, before the coming of the white man. My name's Bob Robert Brofo. I'm the spokesperson for my Aboriginal community that lives in the Swan Valley. We are the last of the river people. I'm one of the many sons that was born through my mother, Isabel Brofo, whose married name is to my father, Tommy Nyinda Brofo. We are the last of the river people, and we will go down fighting, trying to save and preserve the religion and the culture, because we respect the dreaming and we still continue on loving the old people of the past and the old people of the here and now and the few old people of tomorrow. I won't say the future until we all die out and there will be no more. I'm looked on as a shit-stirrer, a troublemaker. Politicians don't like me. Priests don't like me to some extent. Police don't like me. But then again, I am who I am, and I'll continue on being just me, who I was born to be through my mother. I'm a professor within my own rights. I taught myself to read. I can't write. But I love my mother, for she is the person that gave me life through my first mother, and my mother thereafter and after and after. I shall never change, and I won't go away. I'll be there to speak for the old people. I will see you at the crossroads. I'll be on the left-hand side, sitting under the tree if you come my way. I respect and love